How long gone? Back in the motherfucking building. We're still getting back into the groove here. Thank God we have a guest today to kind of keep us on track.
I'm always on track.
Jason's been hitting the weight bench over there in Glendale. He said he's a little worn out. Is it just because you took so much time off that your body's not used to this sort of exertion?
Yeah, it is. I think that's the main reason. Is I went 2 weeks without exercising one single bit and getting drunk and eating food. Just eating bread for no reason, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I am. It's a little bit of a guilt pump, but also, the best part of taking a break and like having a life reset is getting, excited and motivated to do whatever it is you want to do. Whatever that, could be fitness or diet or work or kids or play or whatever it is, So I'm coming at the gym like, what? Maybe I need to bulk up and put on some muscle, some mass, if you do the same thing over and over again, you're insane. So I'm going to try to switch it up and just see if I can fill out this bird chest, turn it into more of a turkey breast chest instead of if I'm going to be bird chest, let's get a big one. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you're going from pigeon to turkey in the bird hierarchy. Okay. This is good.
Uh-huh.
I like this. I've never heard of a turkey chest before. This might be a Them Jeans original.
That's right off the dome.
Usually turkey is used to describe something negative, but once again, Jason has flipped a word on its head. He's repositioned it, and now it's a positive.
I'm a culinary guy.
It's a positive. It's a positive. Speaking of culinary, I went to yet another New York TikTok hotspot restaurant last night.
Jesus, bro.
I know.
I've been living the exact opposite life. I've been like a full shut in, like not even answering the phone for the last week as my fragile body is healing. And you're out there painting the town red. I like it. So you went to another TikTok place where they do...
It was Four Charles.
Matcha Poke?
No, Four Charles, the prime rib establishment that is... it's like 8 tables. It's very small, very charming.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, this will be good, sure. You know what I mean? I'm sure all these places are fucking good, but this was very good. I was like, damn, okay. I see why people eat here at 11 o'clock at night because that's the only table they can get. Obviously, it's
like a steakhouse kind of spot.
Yeah, it's a prime rib. It's a prime rib place, but they had a delicious salad. Obviously, all the raw bar and accoutrement. We had some delicious caviar with actual ruffles. And I thought, I thought I heard the guy say they were hand-picked potato chips, and then I tasted it. I'm like, bitch, this is a ruffle. And they're like, yeah, no, it's ruffles, it's ruffles.
Yeah, I like you could blur the lines with hand-picked.
Yeah, exactly.
We did use our hands to open the bag of ruffles.
That's what I
said.
I was like, you hand-picked these from the fucking bodega. I don't think you hand-picked.
Ooh.
But it was delicious. But I didn't have any of the. I was with the Bear guys, Chris, Cooper. Josh and then Dylan from the Kenny Beats universe joined us as well. So it was me and all the guys. He was in town. So they all had like the crazy burger with the egg and the bacon and the French dip sandwich and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. And everybody, it was just really good. I was really impressed. The service was amazing. And they do cut the burger table side. They chop up a pickle. They lay down 4 plates for the 4 guys.
Okay.
They chop up a pickle, put a single pickle chunk on each place.
What?
Then they pierce the yolk of the egg so it begins to run. Then put the bun on with the bleeding yolk.
Uh-huh.
Then cut the burger into 4s. Place a 4th on each plate, and then everyone digs in. They're all like, "Holy shit, this is fucked up." And I guess the thing is, the burger is so deliciously rich that you only need a quarter. Like finishing one would be gluttonous, would be insane if you had a whole burger.
That's where my next question was going to go. What's up with only having a quarter? But if they really think so, I mean, I like that level of prescription of portion prescription. I guess.
Restraint. It's restraint.
Well, it's not it's the chef being like, this is too powerful. They're not going to be able to handle it. It's like, I'm not going to put all the fentanyl in this Coke, just enough to make them feel yummy.
We're gonna split this fentanyl up into a whole 8-ball. We're not gonna put it into one bag.
Yeah.
1 gram doesn't need all the fent. No.
Yeah. Okay. So that sounds interesting. I mean, I'm glad that you liked it, and I'm glad you were able to go to a prime rib joint as a vegan person and still have yummy.
Well, this is what I tell I tell people all the time though. I find that steakhouses are really good for pescatarian, vegetarian. I mean, it's like I had a piece of fish. All the sides are fucking amazing.
Because
like,
these guys, their wives got to eat something. Their wives and Chris Black got to eat something when they go to these joints.
Exactly. Yeah.
And also, I think the real reason why you seem to kind of swim in the steakhouse seas with ease, it's an American menu at the end of the day, right?
Goddamn right. Yeah. That. Oh, baby.
This ain't no communist ass meal.
No, this wasn't a commie feast, but there was a there was a twist, Jason, that I wanted to talk about that I like. Cooper saw it in my face where my face dropped because this is like an impossible table to get. It's 7:30. We walk up. They're like, "Oh yeah, of course. You guys right this way," and they walk us to the shed.
Oh no, the outdoor dining shed.
The outdoor dining shed, and I'm like, I thought you guys had juice. You know, the new season comes out. Like, what's going on? I'm literally looking at Cooper like, I thought you had juice, bitch. Like, what's the deal?
You think you know a group of fellas?
You think you know these guys? These guys
they'd be above a shed.
Good-looking, successful Hollywood types. You know what I mean? Like, blackberry throwers. And then we get in there, and Jason, this was the nicest. This was an ADU level dining facility. I was blown away. Like, I couldn't believe how well done it was.
Wow.
Like, it was like fully finished. They had AC, wallpaper, full booth banquettes.
Okay.
In this thing.
And how visible from the street? Like, can people? Is it closed air or is it open air? Can people spit on you?
No, fully closed. It was literally like being in an apartment. Like, I was so impressed. Like, they must have spent $250,000 on this. Like, no kidding. It was insane.
Mamma mia.
It was insane. It was so nice. So I sat down. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a chance. And then 10 minutes in, I was like, this might be the actual restaurant is so small. This might actually be better. This might actually, like, it's that nice. It's that well done. So even though I want to say tear down all the shanties, for Charles, your shanty can stay.
Well, it sounds like this shanty is nicer than most of our listeners' homes. So we maybe calling it a shanty is the wrong word for it.
No, it's disrespectful. But I was honestly, I was like, damn, okay, this really worked out. Like, the meal was good, the company was good, and something that would normally upset me to no end was actually quite nice, spacious, comfortable, and the temperature was well maintained.
I mean, it's the last episode I said we take 2 weeks off and Chris goes Antifa, and now I mean there's a lot of leaves that are being turned with you, and it's, I mean, as the person who is sort of the yin to your yang, or the black to your white, or whatever, the white to your black, I should say. You know, I can't help but start to feel like I've turned you a little soft or a little nicer, or is it just you're hanging out with richer people and they're showing you that life isn't so bad?
Let's go with option two. I'm still, don't worry. I'm still mad, Jason. I mean, there's plenty of stuff that gets me worked up every day. I just think that, like, a situation like this where things are fully,
I just don't want you to lose your fastball. That's all.
No, I would never lose my fastball. I mean, there's absolutely
I got mouths to feed now. Okay. I'm a married man.
Yeah. No, I know. Don't worry. I'll never lose my fastball. If you want to bring up something that makes me mad, feel free. I'm happy to go off for a type 5 on, whatever we need to do. I'm open.
Okay. I have one idea. Let's talk about gift registry, weddings, baby showers, things like that.
Oh, are you talking about what poor people do because they don't want to buy this stuff for themselves? Go ahead.
Yeah. What is the difference between the GoFundMe and the registry?
No, I'm kidding. Registries are unfortunately necessary evil, and another thing that men are, of course, forced to do.
Are they necessary though? Is the question. I think they're helpful.
They're not
to some people who really need things.
They're not necessary. Like, I wouldn't give you a wedding gift. My gift was my presents.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the practicality of it. You need to have certain things when you get married or have a kid, and I think it's also an antiquated thing when you would get married at 21 and I need my blender and I need knives and forks and bowls and stuff. But when people are kind of older and interesting, I think, Chris, your love language is gift giving, and it's sort of, it's taking the training wheels and putting them on the bicycle as you're riding the Tour de France. You're like, I don't like this. I can do it on my own. It's insulting to be like, here,
it's insulting.
I need you to buy me diapers.
It's insulting, but it's also like, I think it's the problem is, Jason, most people's love language is not gift giving, and if you don't give them a link to click on with the plates you want, they're going to get you some garbage you don't want. So although I don't think most people,
yeah, but but if you don't ask for anything,
yeah, I mean,
then who cares?
Well, most people, that is the thing. I think the registry came to prominence when people were getting married, like you said, at 22, and had never like lived in a house alone and needed all the stuff that came with it. Now, as we're older, like, what do you, I mean? Unless you're giving me a handful of cash, I'm kind of all set.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm kind of all set. And even then,
yeah, but don't you have a lot of cool, interesting friends who are going to be like, hey, I really thought you would love this book, or I got you this thingy, or, something beyond just the diptyque. But, a thoughtful gift is really special and interesting.
Agreed. And I think if you have a destination wedding, the thoughtful gift, once again, is kind of us making it there and kind of showing our love to you guys as a couple. So are you fishing for a gift right now?
No, I'm not fishing for a gift. It's just, as you know, we did not have a registry. Don't have enough, whatever it is, chutzpah, self-esteem to ask people for things. That's a little crazy. But it was just something that I was thinking about recently. Obviously, registries on the brain as I just got married, but I was wondering, there's like all these Curb Your Enthusiasm kind of Larry David moments where he'll take a stance on something and just be like, no, I just don't do that. Is it possible to be like, I'm never going to buy you anything from the registry. I'm just either going to get you nothing, or I'm going to get you something that.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
That should have. Is it possible to just be like a straight up refuser?
Yeah. Oh,
of
for
the
sure.
registry?
For sure. I mean, I feel like I will buy stuff off the registry if it's like baby related, because I obviously have no interest and don't care. So it's like, yeah, whatever. If you want to fucking, okay, sure.
There's only
Here's
so
a rattle,
many
Chief.
Tiffany rattles you can get, right?
Yeah, exactly. But if it's I don't know. I mean, I think it depends on the person. Like, if you know your friend is a no taste having, middle of the road ass bitch, then you gotta get them what's on the registry. If you know the friend has the registry because their chick made them do it, and you know that you could do something a little better, then I think it's a risk worth taking, especially in this situation, because the idea is you're getting so many gifts, it's like overwhelming. So maybe maybe you're the one that breaks the mold by going off script. Look, like everything else, Jason, it's a calculated risk, and sometimes we got to take them.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is it's something I truly don't care about whatsoever, but it just bugs me. I don't know. There's something about the registry that bugs me. It just takes all the it's fucking with the condom.
Yeah, but you have to. But I think the registry is mostly for like your uncle.
Yeah,
it's like for the rich. It's like for your rich aunt who would get you something you don't want, but the monetary value would be so high that it would upset you. So you have to give them. some bumpers, because it's like, I want Baccarat champagne flutes because I know you got bread. If I put them on here, you will buy those. And otherwise, like, you might get me something I really don't want. And then, because, the worst thing in the world is returning something. I don't return things. I take the L. The L half the time. I have a pair of pants right here I need to return. It's not going to happen. I know it's not going to happen. I'm going to give them to a friend because I know I'm not going to do it. I just know it's not going to happen. And I pretend to do it. I get the return label from Essence. I have it on my computer, but I'm not going to go to FedEx. I'm not going to print it out. I'm not going to put it in a box. It's just not going to happen. So I'll give these pants to Kobe. He'll get them tailored and they'll look great on him. And that's just what it's a similar.
I know. My favorite.
It's a similar kind of thing.
Chris Black mode in that same realm is just the throw it straight into the trash can thing instead of giving it to a friend or whatever, because that can often take burn as many calories as it takes to return it to give it to a friend.
I bought this great REM shirt online that I really wanted. The color was amazing. It was so cool. It got here and I was like, oh, it doesn't fit. It says it's an XL. It's not a fucking XL. They lied to me. The vintage t-shirt sellers lied to me. I give it to Kobe. Kobe takes it, gets it hemmed so it fits him perfectly. And then, that's worth $100 to me. I want to see my friends happy.
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
I would rather do that than be like, oh, I got to go on Grail and see if I can get $50 back. Don't live like that.
Don't live like
Don't
that.
live like that.
Damn.
Don't live like that. We have a guest today. legendary professional skateboarder from California, Kevin Spanky Long, who you guys have probably watched. He's been a professional for a very long time. From the Baker days, Emerica, all of the big sponsors over the years. He's also an artist, and I believe he works at Baker now, kind of as like an art director. But like he's kind of done it all, and I mean I watched him growing up, and I think he's kind of an interesting case because he was like a lunatic party animal skateboarder that was really, really insanely good, and now he's like a dad Highland Park skateboarder who's just as good, but a lot older, which I think is really tough because I mean he's put his body through a lot. So I'm going to talk to him about his kind of rehab program, and just see how the knees are feeling after all those, board slides at Hollywood High.
Yeah, the only question I had on my notes was how are your knees as well. So we are sort of in sync. This is unfortunately an old guys rule episode of How Long Gone.
This is our kind of series old guys rule that we dip into this from time to time. But yeah, and
yeah.
Thank you to friend of the show Whitmer Thomas for putting us together because I've been wanting to talk to Spanky for a while, and him and Spanky. It's kind of like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing. He lets Whitmer skate with him, because Whitmer's good for a civilian, but Whitmer gets to skate with all these pros because he's cool and funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice thing for these guys to do.
Yeah, man, it's a great little transaction. And also, quickly before he hops on, we should not have put the flyer for our show at the Carlisle on Instagram and Twitter. We apologize for that. But if we have not written you back to the DMs of asking me, how do I get an invite? Why haven't I been invited? Can I get an invite? It's a small show that we're just kind of doing a little promo thing for friends and family. So if you did not get invited, don't feel too bad because it's very limited capacity. It's not really a thing that we're doing for money or anything like that. It's just like a cool opportunity to do the Carlisle. But we're going to be doing an actual proper show in New York later in the year. So don't worry. Don't be angry. A lot of people are angry.
Are they?
Yeah, I've gotten a lot of angry. DMs.
What are you angry about? Like, what, we can't do something we want to do? Like, what's there to be angry about?
No, well, people are mad that like, hey, how come like I can go see you in Toronto or Atlanta or Chicago and pay a ticket, but when you come to New York, I can't come see you. It has to be some guest list only bullshit or whatever. So to those people, we'll be doing a regular show later on this year. Don't worry. There's plenty of opportunities for you to give me money.
Well, also, I just want to point out that welcome to the business and how this works, guys. That this is just sometimes you do things and sometimes you do other things. So leave Jason alone. That's my final word on this. All right, I will. Let's give Kevin a jingle.
Okay.
Kevin, what's up, bro? How are you?
What's up, guys? Good to see you.
Are you a Highland Park guy?
I am a Highland Park guy.
That's an interesting choice, Kevin. You want to explain yourself?
What's going on? Why don't you have a pool in Studio City, bro? Come on.
Had to go basic on him. I don't know.
No, it's not. I mean, Highland Park, Studio City is basic. Highland Park is more advanced, I would say. But
Highland Park's the new basic.
Your words, not mine.
Yeah. Where are you at?
I'm in Manhattan right now, but West Hollywood. But Jason's in Glendale.
Yeah, Highland Park. I'm like fitting in with all the like young parents. Not that I'm young, but it's like people trying to keep the dream alive, but they have
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
That's actually a really good description of Highland Park residents.
Yeah,
it's like keeping the dream alive, but still have kids.
Yeah, like you want to be in the city, but you want to be like close to the Montessori school.
Yeah, this is.
Sure,
I forgot that
yeah,
still happens because in Glendale, it's like where you want to go to have kids and give up.
Yeah,
which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't have kids. But yeah, Highland Park. Everyone is still kind of holding on.
Yeah.
The band still might get signed to Sub Pop.
Yeah.
The book might get written.
Yeah.
No, we practice. We practice once a week still. Like there. I mean, it's like it could happen.
Yeah.
Like it's not crazy. It's not crazy.
Yeah.
The new stuff is sounding really good.
The new stuff is actually pretty sick. Like, did you? but I imagine you lived in Hollywood for a long time. You got your fill of that, I assume.
Dude, yeah, I was West Hollywood for like fucking so long, like 16 years or something.
How west are we talking, Kevin?
Like I was walking distance from the Fairfax like mayhem for most of my adult life.
It's funny you say that, Kevin. I'm currently walking distance from the Fairfax mayhem, although the mayhem has turned into more of I don't know if I would call it mayhem anymore. Maybe.
Yeah.
It's 13-year-olds and their moms.
Yeah, it's 13-year-olds waiting for Doll's Kill to like get in to buy a black like skirt.
Yeah, that's
it's not really quite the same.
that's chaos.
So Kevin, back in the Hollywood days, this was like kind of mid 2000s when everyone was like we're kind of all around the same age, and I was throwing parties back then.
Yeah.
That was sort of like the peak of everyone kind of raging. I remember you guys. Did you guys have a house that was kind of by like Cafe 101, or there was like a skate house over there?
Oh yeah, the Hellrose house. I never lived there, but definitely
Okay.
we probably ended up at some smelly parties there.
I feel like why do skateboarders insist on living 10 to a house? Is that a financial decision, or is that we just like each other that much?
I don't know. I think
I feel like it's got to be a little bit of both, right?
I mean,
it feels like the van or something. They're like,
yeah,
they think maybe if there's 10 of them, one will take out the trash.
sure.
The house is just a big van that doesn't move.
Yeah.
If you're a skater,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't have to change the oil on this house. It's so sick.
Yeah.
But I think that like, because I mean, bands, obviously it's a very similar situation. Like bands are in a van, they're touring. It's the same idea. There's nothing bands want to do more than get away from each other when they get off tour. They all live separately. They might live in different states just for that reason, But I feel like for whatever reason, like at least from my understanding, there's a point in every skater's life where he lives with 10 guys and there's somebody living on the couch for a 5-year period minimum.
Yeah. Part of that instinct to like go away when you're done with tour is like being a grown up. And a lot of either actual kids living together, like in my case, when I was living in skate houses, or they're just like, suspended in that for a while. But yeah, I actually lived in some places in Hollywood, like a couple of places where like the shoe sponsor paid the rent, if not all of it, most of it. And then so that was just like,
that is
which is not I'm not trying to brag because it was not cool. It wasn't sick,
bro. No, the house
America dropped $13.50 a month, man. It was fucking lit.
No, like we did have a kind of a rodent problem, but it was all paid for. So I mean, it's kind of, it was good. It's fine.
But I think when you're in a band, it's like you really need everyone. And when you're a skater, like you have your teams and your crews and your bros, but it's still a singular thing that you have to do by yourself. So maybe you don't necessarily need as much alone time, and you kind of need to be around other people so they can be like, hey, you should do this and you should do that, and
motivating.
This shirt is stupid, and just to have a group of peers that can be like, hey, this trick is dumb now, we don't do it. This brand, just you gotta and you guys gotta like bullshit and gossip with each other about all the latest skate tea.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any skate tea for us?
No, I mean that is true though. I guess that's a thing, because I equate. I mean, skateboarding is kind of like tennis or golf or something, where it's like you're with other people, but it's kind of like I'm sure it gets competitive, even though people don't want to talk about it getting competitive.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it just depends. Different pockets of skating, it's different. But to your point, like for such an individualist activity, like everyone is just like relying on everyone around them for fucking what pants they wear, what tricks they do, whatever, everything, It's
it's a trend bait. I mean, like anything else, it's like a little bit of like a trend thing, even among like friend groups. It's like, all right, we're all wearing these pants right now, for whatever reason. That's the look.
Yeah, especially in skating, because you can like it's much more inclusive now, obviously, but like out of all the things that I'm aware of, you can be written off for the most like arbitrary seeming things.
That's what I love about skateboarding, is that it's so it's like, this guy's a fucking clown. It's like, why? It's like, oh, look at those pants, dude. Like, look at this fucking guy's haircut. Like, that's how
you look at his arms. Look at the way his arms are. If you don't
Look
skate,
at the
you're
way, like the way God made his arms, or the way he uses his arms when he's doing a cool trick.
yeah, like if you don't skate, you're like, oh, yeah, what? Like his arms? Yeah, look at his arms.
His arms are all
disgusting.
Look at Bob Burnquist's arms. This is
Yeah.
atrocity.
He's got good arms.
That's a
Okay.
Bob for the record does have good arms.
Let me be clear.
I think there is truth to that, because that's how it is with tennis for sure. You'll see somebody and they to me they look like a fucking monster, and then I talk to some expert and he's like, oh man, I mean his feet, he wasn't moving it, it was just all wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? But he won the fucking point. Like, what does it matter? It's like, yeah, but you gotta, and it's very similar. I'm sure like landing the trick isn't good enough all the time.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to put the sauce on it.
Got to put the sauce.
I'm sitting here thinking we're exceptional, but most of these tennis players are probably doing the same thing. Except for in skating, you can be like, what's great about it too is you can be kind of penalized for being too good.
Because like if you do like SLS and wear Nike shorts, it's like not cool, but you're killing.
Yeah, or just certain, and I'm just saying like certain pockets will just kind of write you off because what you're doing is not relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're too good.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy.
Which is great for my career. Fantastic.
Like it's worked out really well for me. I've been doing this a long time. Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's like it's almost like, but I mean, I think that's what's so interesting about any sport, but skateboarding particularly, as like a bystander. Even as someone who did it for fun when I was a kid, was never good, but follow it and have friends that do it, the trends are very real, even as far as like tricks go and like style goes. Like when I'm 40, you're growing up, everybody's wearing big pants and doing like, big stuff. It's all big. It's like the biggest rail. It's the biggest drop in. And now it's like guys with fucking their hair parted down the middle in Dickies doing like stuff on curbs.
Yeah.
And that's like that. It's completely, and they're both cool, but it's funny that to me those couldn't be more opposite really. But like that's how far it's gone in my lifetime.
Yeah, I think part of that though is that it's gone so big and technical and far, and it's like a pushback to that, the Olympics, all that shit.
It's like a rejection of that. Basically, it's like we're gonna go sit in a parking lot like we're 14.
Yeah. But then there's all these, like now there's just all these. There's a place for everyone. There's different pockets for everyone.
Yeah.
Did you skate too, Jason?
No, I did not skate. I was more of a BMX bro, but I grew up like a block away from Beagle, so
no way.
I used to like film Beagle instead of the other way around. But like, yeah, when we were like 13. We would like skate curbs together, but that's about it.
In Huntington?
Yeah, in Huntington. No, yeah, I went to Huntington High School like during the time when they had the skate park there, and every day at lunch it was just Jeff Rowley and Ed and all those people just like selling decks out of their car, and it was a great moment. My brother would like cat sit for Ed all the time.
Sick.
We're very involved in the HB skate world without ever skating or ever be like. I went to I went to Golden View, Mesa View, and Huntington High School.
That's sick. It makes me laugh that Huntington Beach was such like the fucking mecca to be at in that time, and then you go there right now. No offense to you, but
no,
it's fucking.
What are you about to say? Crazy. I don't know what you're talking about, Kevin.
It's a crazy place.
No, we talk about it all the time.
Don't do that.
I mean, like half the schools I went to are like levels on Tony Hawk, and now half the schools I went to are like Fox News locations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Places change. But I always found it, I think that's so interesting too, because Huntington Beach is like a suburb that's like an hour away from LA too. It's like it's kind of, like it's not close to anything, so I guess it's kind of just its own thing, and maybe that's why it became that. Like people lived there, right?
Yeah. Like hundreds of thousands of people live there. It's a pretty big city.
No, I don't mean like residents. I mean like if I'm a 25-year-old professional skateboarder in that era, am I living in Huntington Beach because it's like that hot?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I mean, there's still chillers there, but there's a lot of non-chillers there too.
Yeah, you're moving from like Florida or Brazil or wherever, and you're going straight to an apartment with carpet and in Huntington.
Oh yeah, you're on Golden West,
which is a great. I mean, look, that's a great place for a lot of people, but it's a funny place to just end up. You know, it's very like.
That's what I mean. To be like, I'm the best kid from Florida. I'm the best skateboarder. I'm getting sponsored. I'm moving to Huntington Beach. I guess it's better than Florida, you know, for career purposes.
Meanwhile, every single day I looked at the calendar and asked God, Jesus himself, when will I be taken away from this place and brought to a place where they know who Blonde Redhead is and I can hang out with indie chicks, you know, but during that same time when I was growing up and skating was so huge in you know, early 2000s, late 90s, that was also when UFC was blasting off, and Huntington Beach was the mecca for every Ultimate Fighter.
Whoa!
Because there's all like the Tank Abbott like street fighting like bros who were like look like Bradley from Sublime, but were like brawlers, and then every Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy set up their fucking studios in Huntington Beach.
Wow.
I have no idea why.
So Huntington Beach was the hotbed for all kinds of alternative sports, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I had no idea.
As well as Nazis.
Sure, but I feel like that came later, you know. It's the weather's so nice, you know. What are you going to do? Kevin, Jason and I were really interested in talking about your body, if you don't mind.
let's talk about it.
Just I guess that I've seen.
You got knees that don't quit, Kevin.
You got a knee. No, I think that like for a while during COVID, I was going to the Undefeated gym that's in Silver Lake, and there was a group of skaters that would be there like doing rehab and like working out and like taking care of their body, which I'm sure you were not doing until 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, when did you start to realize like I can't keep doing this without some maintenance?
Yeah, probably about 10 years ago, but the maintenance has kind of changed over that time. But I was let's see, at like 27 or about 10 years ago, I was like,
yeah,
I'm done. Like, I was like retired. I was checked. And I was like, it's been going downhill for a really long time, and now it's just like not going.
I've done it. I'm good. I'm done here.
I was like,
you threw in the hat.
Yeah, and then without like making this an AA meeting, like I've had to make a lot of fucking changes, and then it just and doing all that
sure
stuff. Yeah, like it like changed my relationship to my body when I stopped like raging every single day of my life.
I mean, no, that happened to me too. I'm sober too, and the same thing happened. Like, as soon as you're like, well, I've got a lot of time, I need to feel something, for the love of God.
I don't want to play poker. What am I gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to play. If I have to play poker with Nate Walton, I'd rather go to the gym. So I think I'm just gonna do that. But no, I think that it really is like but it must be a lot different for you when you're somebody who's like, you have a different relationship to your body because you've been like an athlete, basically. So it's a very different thing.
Yeah, but even like in that period, I was so used to for so long treating my body, or like in a way trying to just ignore my body, because even as a kid, it was just constantly in pain.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I had to like, I was like ignoring my body for that, and then also just like dumping everything in that I could find for 10 years straight every day. And then so like once I kind of had a reset, I can look back on it now, but at the time I wasn't really aware of this, but I was like trying to figure out how to like use my body again.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just started skating like crazy. Like you're saying, you had all this energy and put it into skating, and then it like recovered pretty quickly, because it was just like atrophy. Like it was all fucked up because I wasn't using it and I was so out of shape. So like if your body's all fucked up and then you get in shape, you can kind of use it again.
So you're saying you got sober and you were like, fuck it, I'm going to go absolutely crazy. And you just started skating all the time, but it felt different because you're like able to recover.
Yeah. And like, even though skateboarding, like it's really abrasive on your body, but it also is like, I guess it's like can be a pretty intense workout.
It's great cardio. Great cardio.
Yeah.
Great cardio.
So if you're like transferring full blown like drug addiction and alcohol, like new stuff into like straight into your skating, and you like feel like a kid again, you're gonna get in like crazy shape. And I was and so I just was like, oh, I felt so much better because I had muscles again in my legs and
I love the idea.
Wow.
You acted like you were walking around like you couldn't walk. You had lost all muscle in your legs.
Dude, I was so like a tin man, but like a little grandma.
I mean, but why do you think? I mean, I think it's similar with the music business a little bit, and our age group where we lived through the thing where like partying was part of the deal. Like it was like that was what was cool. It's like if you are into music, you're in a band, whatever. You do coke, you drink vodka sodas, you stay out late. That's like what you do. You know,
You got to be a bad boy.
you got to be a bad boy, and obviously you were part of that with skating. It was very similar, but I don't think that that is not the case anymore. It's like completely shifted where that's like not cool, at least from what I'm seeing. Which is, I never
Some
thought
woke bullshit, bro.
I never thought I would see the day where like a musician's like talking about they can't go on tour because of their mental health. It's like, do some coke and get out there, bro. What's the problem? But this is where we're at, and I think society has completely changed. I didn't think I would see the day, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Has the space gotten too safe?
Yeah, I mean, once there's like any bit of mental health check-in, you can maybe you just need like one little bit of information to not like blast into oblivion for all of your 20s.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I just think that I glorify it. I can relate it to music because it was like everyone I ever liked, like they pushed it. That was the whole thing. It was like I'm
fall
a
off.
lunatic. Yeah, I'm a fucking lunatic. Like that's why I'm so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I guess it was harder for me to understand with skateboarding because it's so physical. So I was like, I guess what you're saying is it's partly to like numb the pain because your body feels so bad.
Yeah, and just turning yourself into a cockroach. You're just like all around resilience. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If you can like roll your body downstairs over and over with not much reward to anyone else in the outside world, you're also likely gonna be able to stay up for 3 nights and like, you know.
I never thought about the cockroach
Me neither.
A/B comparison, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you really have to set up your body mentally and physically to just truly take a beating, like be stepped on by fucking God every day. And do it all over again because that's the only way.
Yeah, and do the same thing over and over. That's really like detrimental to your whole life. But
I know, but that's just always what's
it.
Cool about it, man.
Yeah,
that's just
great.
That is what's
sacrificing your body part has always been what's, you know, I guess admirable might not be the perfect word for it, but that's just what's always been like when you're a kid watching somebody do it and fall down a set of stairs 50 times, you're like this person's an idiot. I don't care if they're making money from this or not. Like, but there's something there that you don't see in any other sport, really.
Yeah, but then there's still people who are cockroaches, I guess. But but if you love it so much, like there's easy ways to find that. Like that's not very sustainable. You can do that. That's why like most of us back then were like, oh wow, you peak at 19 and you're done at 25. Now everyone's all your 45-year-old friends are still posting every day on Instagram of them skating because it's just like changed.
We talk about this fairly often on the like Instagram. To me, changed like food culture, tattooing, and skateboarding maybe the most.
Yeah.
And I just because I mean my understanding is like, you know, back in the day it's like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna skate for basically like a year or more to get this part for my sponsor. It's gonna go in the video that comes out, and then that's kind of what I do. That's kind of like the whole thing.
Yeah.
And now is there sort of like an understanding that to stay relevant you got to be putting clips up pretty often?
Yeah, I mean there's just like so many different lanes and approaches you can take, but for the most part it's pretty known that that like putting something out once every year or even 3 years like it used to be, that was normal. And like you said, it was like that was just like you're doing your job right if you have like a Thrasher interview and a video part every 3 years and fucking do whatever else fill your time however you want. Maybe go to like 2 things throughout the year of like a, you know, events, but anyway, yeah, you got to do a lot more now. Like you got to
your Instagram is like funny, and you like have fun with it, and it's cool. And I think that like it's I don't know. I think the approach is like fun, and I think it's kind of refreshing because I think it can get like super serious, you know. Like I think it's like it can get like look at me, and I think having a little fun with it is kind of nice. And I wonder. I feel like maybe your perspective allowed you to come to that, whereas young people probably can't think about it that way. They think about it as like part of their job, maybe, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely hard for a bunch of different aged people to get. I mean, everyone struggles with it, right? Like it's weird to fucking get into that mindset of self-promotion. I guess I started doing stuff of a different tone kind of for that reasons, because it felt so soul-sucking to put out stuff of myself all the time. But I really like am out there all the time skating, and I love it. I'm like addicted to it. So I'm like, okay, maybe if I'm like offering something else that's like I'm like putting my back into it a little bit more than just like here I am.
Well, you found a way to tolerate an unnecessary evil for a lot of people, you know, shameless self-promotion and posting videos of yourself doing a cool thing every day is something that, you know, most people would consider to be kind of psychopathic behavior.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, oh, I'm not some fucking like weirdo influencer, but you are at the end of the day, and we are too. It's just with a different packaging, and I'm glad that you had the brain power, or just, you know, whatever it took to be like, you know, I have to do this. It's good for my career. And instead of just whining and complaining about it and being like, oh, TikTok, blah, 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 you know, you found a way that you're like, oh, I have fun doing this the way that I've always lived my life. And it's also good that a lot of people can't do that, because then you would be out of a job.
Yeah.
So it's good that everyone is making all these boring ass regular videos and you're not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I appreciate that. But yeah, you know, it's just everyone who posts their bullshit knows that it's just like a constant struggle. You're like every time. I don't know. I try not to overthink it too much these days, but
is the payoff that we have to work a lot harder as skaters on Instagram? Is the payoff that we make a lot more money?
No,
or not necessarily.
Absolutely not.
Let me answer. No. Let me be very clear. Let me be clear. No. No.
Yeah, there are like avenues to where you can like make it work as like an old aging skater. You know, like you like all of a sudden you're like still in there, and that's where I love it. You know, but as far as like a 1-to-1 of how much you're putting in and how much you're getting back, not at all.
So what? I guess then the question is, in 2023. That's the year we're in, I guess. Yeah, right. 20. Okay. What does a sponsor actually want from you? Like, what are you giving them in return for your monetary gain?
Yeah, I don't know. You're probably like
philosophically. Do you mean, or you're talking about literally?
No, I guess what I'm saying is like obviously they want the connection to you because of your career and what you've done, but it's also like the videos don't work the same, and that used to feel like the job is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, right now, no one actually knows, because you ask 10 people, you get 10 different answers. But like for the realm we're kind of in, I would say if I was like looking for a kid who's doing it right, to me it would be like somebody's putting out a video part once a year, but they're also doing Instagram, but they're doing it very carefully in a way where they don't come off corny, and they're not like talking in the camera all the time. They're just like posting skate videos and sort of like, no offense to anyone who's fucking talking into the camera, I'm just saying.
No offense to corny people. No offense to them. Offense to them. It's okay. Yeah, like I said before, it's a good thing that a lot of people are corny at this, because you need the one person like you for all the weirdo kids out there who are, you know, doodling on their homework and, you know, thinking like, oh, I'm not like all these other skater like loser jock bros or whatever. You know, it's good that you exist out there, but does the skate industry make less money than it did, you know, like back in your heyday, like when you were 20, when you were 19, at the peak of your body?
It's tough.
Is the industry at a whole better or worse?
It's tough to say. The industry got like a crazy boom during COVID. Like everything just fucking like quadrupled overnight.
Damn,
Really?
I thought okay, so I wasn't the only guy just wearing Palace head to toe for 3 years.
Yeah.
Sick, good to know.
So everyone started a podcast and everyone got a complete in COVID, is what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, they hit CCS for the complete during COVID.
and much like some of those dusty ass podcasts that were like two and done, there's a bunch of boards in closets somewhere. And so it didn't sustain.
Yeah, definitely,
It didn't
definitely.
sustain.
Well, thank God. It's like buying a gift card to a restaurant, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just keeping us afloat.
Yeah.
So it boomed, but it's like I think that it's like anything else. Like I feel like snowboarding is a good example. When snowboarding got so big, and now it's like kind of fucked from what I understand. Like it just can't. Like skiing became cool again.
Yeah.
Luckily for skateboarding, rollerblading will never become cool. So you guys are kind of safe as far as that goes.
Rollerblading's having a comeback.
I unfortunately have seen it, and I think that those guys need to get made fun of like they did.
A
20 years ago.
comeback to what, though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you work at Baker, right? Like beyond skating, like you're like an art director or like a designer.
Yeah.
So you see both sides. You like know the ins and outs from both sides. Like you're in, like you understand, like from a financial perspective, how things are going.
Yeah. And it's good. And so with all of that, like it spiked and then it plateaued. But there's so many companies right now, and there's so many like pro skaters because you can find out everyone's got a following. It's like, you know what I mean? There's just like so many people out there. For a kid just getting into it, it's so hard to find a lane to like make it a living. Right now.
Yeah. 'Cause it's super competitive, and there's only so much.
Yeah.
There's like 500 13-year-old Korean girls who are better at skating than you are right now.
100%.
Yeah. Oh my, countless. And then there's like this like huge gap of like people who are making a bunch of money, but it's like 3 people, and then the rest is just like down.
Okay, so just a metaphor for just life in general, just humans on the world in general.
Yeah.
The skater middle class has been destroyed, and you just have the 1%ers out there.
Yes.
With the Nike SB deals.
I would love to hear who the 1%ers are, but I won't put you on the spot like that. But that's who I'm interested in linking with. So
it's me, baby.
It's me.
You're talking to him in the flesh.
You're like, welcome to hell, bitch. It's me. I mean, I guess that I guess I see it a lot on Instagram, but also in New York, I feel like it's there's like this new skate shop just opened in the East Village. You know, the guy he's like making jeans, and it's this whole thing. I saw it everywhere for a little while, and it's just like, damn, like a guy can open a store in the East Village to sell jeans and beanies in 2023 because skating is that popular.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's where we're at, you know. But I always, you know, the fashion aspect of it has been co-opted so much by like the real industry that it's I feel like it's like the shoes that come out that look like fucking, you know, Osiris, and they're you know, they're $1,000 shoes. They were ugly the first time. I think it's nice to kind of have the perspective of like, damn, it's crazy to see this ugly ass shoe is now back, but it's Dior and it's $1,100. And it's just I can't believe watching young people fall for it, because I did too, I'm sure, in some respect. You know, it's all a circle. It really is.
Yeah,
it
is. And there's no, like, on my end, there's no complaints, because I just see, at this point, we've seen it happen a bunch of times where it just goes through these
so many times
phases. But
well, actually, that reminds, or that makes me want to ask you this question: as somebody who's grown up in the industry for a long time, and now you're sort of on the back end business side of it, creating designs and you know, clothes and shoes and decks and stuff like that. What have you learned over the years that, like, what's one thing that just never works? Just like a brown shirt, or like whatever it could be. Like, what's one thing that everyone has just tried to do forever and it just never works? It just never sells.
I like a specific thing that never sells.
I mean, just like maybe in your personal history, perhaps.
I mean, well, what first came to mind was like people try, like the one thing that doesn't work is when you figure out the formula and then you don't keep skating and be out in the streets, because you just like lose touch of whatever's going on instantly. But as far as like specific things, let me think about it.
So you mean like what, like when people take off, they do really well, and then the only thing they're posting is like, I bought this new car, suck my dick kind of thing, and then everyone's like, well, you're not really the people's champ anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's it's more, I guess, just like if someone in the company, if it's a skate company and someone in there isn't on the street skating, then it's just gonna it's gonna fall away so quick.
I mean, Jason, the beauty of skateboarding is it all works. I mean, people were wearing a shirt with a cartoon flame on it, you know, for like for the happily wearing a cartoon flame on, you know, people wear wild shit. Like some of the graphics over the years were really insane.
Yeah,
really
but Chris,
twisted.
you bring this up all the time, not all the time, but sometimes where you say like, I just know that this won't work. I just know that this won't sell.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering,
Kevin, we had an argument on this show, Jason and I, because he thought we should make like a baby doll women's style T-shirt, and I was like,
a t-shirt for a female audience. It's 60-40 demographic, just to let you know, Kevin.
and I was like, there's that just won't sell. I'm telling you right now. And we got into a public argument about it. It was all in good fun, of course. And then I received an overwhelming response from the female listenership that agreed with me. They're like, yeah, we'll just buy a men's small. Like, I don't need something specifically made for me. And I think Jason still believes that he was right.
Well, that's the thing, is there's no way we'll know if it's right or wrong
unless we take a financial risk. You're right. Yeah,
right. You gotta just
that's right. I'm not saying I want to do that, but you know, there's no way of knowing.
We get told all the time like stuff not to make from sales and that, and like this doesn't sell, and it's just always it's always a crapshoot. And if people go and if you put something out and you hear a bunch of people like voicing their demand for like, you need to make 9-inch boards now, and then you make 9-inch boards, nobody buys them. They're just like, you can't listen to anyone.
No, that's 100%. You cannot listen. What is the new now? What is the cool size board now? Is it a regular, 7.5 with small wheels? Are we on big wheels? What's the move?
Most people are on like about 8.5 actually. Not, it's like wider boards.
Wow, so it's pretty
wheels.
wide. Okay, bigger wheels.
But it's all over the place. 8 to 8.5, and then like 52 to 58 wheels or something. I don't know.
This is good. This is good data for when I get my new setup, because I want to make sure I look cool.
There's like a whole group of people listening to this right now who are like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then there's an equally similarly sized group who are just like, this is the best episode of How Long Gone of all time. They're fucking talking about skate dick wits. This is my Coachella.
Or the half of them are like, what's going on? The other half are like, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. The skaters, the actual skaters, because there could be part of
that.
What the fuck do you know, old man?
Yeah, what do I know? I'm old.
Do you still go on trips and shit, or do you keep it pretty local now that you're like the dad?
I still go on trips, but there's just been a lot less traveling lately. It's been nice. I like traveling, but it's just been there's just overall been a lot less this year. But yeah, I'll go on a couple big trips a year. But before pandemic, it was like, is that what we're calling it? A pandemic?
Sure. Yeah.
Before the fucking all that shit, it was like a lot. I was traveling like most of the year.
Really? How does it make you feel to go to the like office and shit? This was a decision you obviously made, but like, was that a hard adjustment to make after being kind of a wild boy who never had to do anything he didn't want to do for so long?
It's weird as hell. It's also like a decision I didn't try to make. I was like kind of tricked into it. and then I'm like such a accidentally.
I still don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'm like, but I'm like a fucking like a do-gooder or something, like deep down, and I'm like not like. Like I'm like a rule follower or something.
You're a people pleaser, teacher's pet?
Yeah, I am a teacher. I'm a people pleaser in a way, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Or I'm like just trying to work hard or something. Like if someone...
Yeah.
Or something. I'm accidentally in there. And to answer your question, it feels weird as fuck. Like I'm like...
How often are you going to an office? Like how often do you go in?
It depends on where we're at in the season, and like these days it's just becoming more and more frequent, but sometimes it's 4 days a week and
Bro,
parts
what?
of the season.
Bro, you got a job. You used to be
I
cool.
know,
You got a
it's a
job.
No, I know. I mean, we got a skate park at the thing, and like,
Don't make excuses. You're not gonna.
Yeah,
fool
we have
me.
kombucha
Bro, we got
on
a skate
tap.
park.
It's actually
sick.
pretty sick. Super strong Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
I don't like this because I'm actually in denial, so I don't want to talk about this.
You're like, this is all fun and games, but it is hitting close to home, actually.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, I think you're able. I mean, obviously, they knew you going into it when they forced you into this indentured servitude, so they kind of knew what they were getting,
Yeah.
and they wanted what you got, and you're going to make this role exactly however you want it to be. And you're working for Baker. You're not working for J.P. Morgan. You can kind of get a little loosey goosey with it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I actually love it. It's like I get to doodle shit and put it on boards, and we have nobody to answer to. So it's like, and I've ridden for Baker I've been pro for Baker for 20 years. So
wow.
It's like the dream place to land. Also, like if I've got to go skate, like no one's going to be like, all these fucking hats are due. Like it's chill.
All these hats are due. Well, how much longer until AI takes your doodling job?
Till AI takes it?
Yeah. Or have you already started using AI with your illustrations and artwork?
No, I don't. I mean, I'm sure they have already done this, but they're going to have to teach AI how to draw shitty.
You're like my
job.
certain brand of shittiness is very dialed, and it's going to take a lot of machine learning to kind of iron that out.
Job security for how shitty your artwork is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Did this start because you obviously were like designing your own boards, and then it just turned into like, I'm doing more and more and more?
Yeah, it was kind of like, I was just designing boards, and then Andrew Reynolds was like, he's the owner of Baker, and he just asked me if I could. Somebody left, and then he was like, "Could you come in just once every, like when the season's coming around, like just make sure stuff doesn't suck, like offer your sort of." And then I just had an office job the next day.
That's how they get you.
They gave you a little a thing with your name on it on the door. They're like, all right, here's your office. We got you a laptop. Like, here's the password. Here's a coffee mug.
So the dental plan, the PPO on that one is you're going to need to sign here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty. We've talked about that. We talked about this with Jerry when Jerry was on the show. But like, I think the other thing about skateboarding that's so impressive to me is that like a lot of the most popular brands are owned by the skaters themselves, and I can't think of any other industry that has that setup. Like you're literally, your boss is Andrew Reynolds. That's really what's going on.
Yeah. Right. You guys don't have like a board of trustees like Supreme does or something.
Yeah, there's no VF Corp over there.
Nobody. There's no corporate structure or anything. It's pretty loose.
It's great.
It's fun.
I mean, once you scale too far, you lose the sauce.
Yeah,
you lose the sauce. But no, I love that you've figured out. I love that this responsibility. You're in denial, but you go every day and you love it. That would happen to me too. I think I could see myself being like, wait a second.
I also have like a 3-year-old kid, and I just like have been such a loser for my whole life that I'm like, I just forget. I like go to a restaurant and see somebody, I'm like, oh, sorry, sir. Like, and like that kid's like 10 years younger than me. I just like haven't figured out that I'm an adult. And I'm like,
so you're calling teenagers sir still?
Yeah. And I'm like, I'll attend to all of my responsibilities with my child and my job and stuff. I just have not figured, I haven't like done the switch over in my the way I look at myself.
Yeah, I think that's something that you think about when you get older and you have a vision of what adults are, when they're in their 40s or 50s or whatever, and then when you're in your 40s and you're like, oh, everyone is, at least now, is still just like a giant grown-up baby. Everyone is.
Has having a child, like, is it expanded your kind of friend group? Are you forced to hang out with like guys you would never meet? Yeah, shittier people because they have a kid too, and your kids get along.
Yeah. No, but I'm kind of into it.
Next question.
I'm kind of into it though. Yeah, I like
because you're expanding your horizons. You're like, oh, this guy's cool. He's a movie producer. He seems cool.
A lot of that, yeah.
So I feel like you're just gonna keep going, and I'm sort of experiencing some things in my life, the way that you've been talking about them, of like kind of growing up not a loser, but not a full complete person, and then later on in life some things switch over, you get married, you have a kid or whatever, and then you're like, oh, I need to start making up for lost time maybe, or like going into turbo mode. And when you're doing that, you're not stopping to say no to some things, and maybe you don't have work boundaries set just quite yet. So get those boundaries set up, or just don't, and then you'll be like president in 20 years or something if you keep going, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, I feel like you're just gonna keep falling. You're like, I met this guy at the playground. I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah, you're gonna live like to an annoying age. I feel like you're gonna be like, you're not gonna be skating at 109, but you're still gonna be like filming maybe.
Do a lot of your homies though have your peers that you like grew up skating with, have they all kind of like gotten it together for the most part, or did you lose a few along the way to just kind of like, these guys are never gonna grow up, I gotta kind of drop the weight?
No, most of them were sober when I met them, and like gotten
really?
Like, yeah, I don't know,
because you were like 16 and they were like 25.
Yeah, and then yeah, but a little of both, like, but I can't think of many homies that I've lost. But
I don't mean
like,
lost. I don't mean
connection with.
I don't mean lost like they died. I mean lost like.
Oh no, I lost a lot of homies. But yeah, I know what
you had to cut them off.
Like it just where you're like, this is just not going to work for me. Like as we get older, it's like I think there's not much commonality here anymore.
Most people who kind of were in our friend group, either. Yeah, they kind of just got sober because it's like not.
They either got sober or died.
Yeah,
yeah. It really like it does. It sounds like some dumb shit that like some fucking Sunset Strip documentary, but it is kind of like you got sober, you died, or figured something out. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people exercising a whole lot of moderation.
No, that's very true. But I think that's, look, most people, I feel like most people have made it in my life too. Like I think most people kind of figure it out. But yeah. I do think that there's such a possibility to be like a Peter Pan, in today's world, especially. I feel like more so in New York than LA for some reason, but you can kind of get away with it late into your life. Yeah. And nobody, especially if you're making any sort of money, people don't care.
Yeah.
You're like, it's totally normal to be like, I'm 45, I have a 22-year-old girlfriend, I'm drunk every night. Like, it's all good. People let you get away with that.
It does seem a little harder in LA though, because you have to be so deliberate and drive and do all these things. Where in New York, it's like easy for that all to be right there and just go. And
did you ever live here?
No, I dated girls who lived there, and so I would be there for months on end and never. But I always had a place here. But I was there more than I was here for a while.
You were a fly-in.
Yeah, I was a fly-in.
Yeah, man. We've all been there, brother.
But I was there like, I would like stay the whole winter. I'd be like, oh, this is great. You can't skate, and you can just like go to the bar all day. It's snowy.
Damn, I could go. That's okay. So that's when it's bad. It's like my job is to skate. I moved to New York during the winter, so I didn't have to skate.
This is so sick. I don't have to skate.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, it's snowing.
There's nothing I can do, bro. This is what it is, man.
The only thing I could do is probably just coke at Max Fish. I don't know. That's probably the only thing I could on my calendar.
I don't have anything to do. I think that, New York in the winter is, by choice, is pretty amazing. That says a lot about your state of mind at the time.
Yeah. I like to party.
Last question. We ask some people this, depending on if they have a partying past. Top 3 prescription pills of all time.
Oh, okay. I think. I wasn't like a super pain pill head because I knew that would just go. Mm-hmm. I would say probably Adderall was pretty cool because I'm full blown one of those adult with ADD people. So I just like get quiet and like be like, oh shit, and get stuff done. which is also kind of lame. So I don't know. I like it.
I never
Yeah,
understood. I never understood when people were like using Adderall in place of Coke. I was always like, "What?" Like Adderall's. I don't know. I know it's supposed to be the same, but there's no way it's the same.
It just depends on how your brain works.
Sure.
It makes some people quiet and focused, and then you do so much work that you're not cool anymore.
Yeah.
And then some people are like, "Wow, I feel so fucking sick."
Yeah.
Okay, Addies. Okay, we're in upper zone.
Okay, and then probably Xanax, and then
Don't sound so disappointed.
Everyone sounds disappointed when they say Xanax because everyone knows
that's not that cool either. I mean, no shade.
no shade to Xanax.
Because I'm thinking about the things that were like stabilizing me accidentally, and that's not fun. I was like about oblivion.
Oh, I see. You
I want chaos.
Okay.
That part of it I didn't I mean, that never appealed to me. Like that is not. I want to take 10 Oxycontin and sit on the couch and feel amazing. I don't want to be like. I don't want like a guy like. I read about you. I remember you getting lit on fire. I'm like, I don't want that happening to me. Like, that's just not what I'm. That's not really my vibe. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess that's why I didn't see you at the same parties.
I like the idea that you're low key calling me a pussy for not getting lit on fire.
Hey, it's to each their own.
One of your boys never lit you on fire? All right, dude. Whatever. Yeah, that's a.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Xanax and Adderall are two of the. I mean, those are probably the. I feel like those might be the number ones of all time.
Chocolate and vanilla
Jason,
pills. Okay, well, number 3, we got a curveball.
What's the sleep one that makes you kind of hallucinate if you don't go to sleep?
Ambien.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That one. I wasn't good at procuring pills or drugs in general. I was like a drinker, but like I wasn't saying no either. But I was like.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna put these logos on my NASCAR whip, but
I like drinking. It's old school, It's kind of
I was old school.
It's kind of refreshing to just belly up to the bar and stay there till they close. I just don't.
Yeah,
bars were always a little too dirty for me. Sounds like you wanted to lay on the floor.
Oh yeah, real dirty,
big floor guy.
How often?
Yeah.
How often were you taking your shirt off in public after hours?
I don't know. But yeah, it was happening. I was
okay. That's I feel like
it wasn't not happening.
Not like I wasn't like doing like I do have friends who get into still get into full like frat mode, but I wasn't really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was always something that was so strange to me. I was like, I'm good. Like we're in public. Everybody relax. Like let's take it down a notch.
No, I was sophisticated. I just like try and say something witty. No, someone wouldn't understand me, and I'll fall on the floor and fall asleep in the bottom of it. Underneath the bar, like that's not being hyperbolic. I just would fall asleep there.
Like that, you were a floor guy.
I was a floor guy. I was a booze sponge.
All right, Kevin. Thank you for joining. Kevin Spanky booze sponge long. Thank you for joining us. No, it was a pleasure, and we've been watching you skate for a long time, so I'm glad that you're still able to do it.
Yeah,
thanks,
man.
Guys.
Well,
thanks for having me.
I gave Whitmer a shout out in the intro, but it's nice that you let kind of. I said it was like a Make-A-Wish Foundation thing, where you let kind of like a non-professional kind of hang out with you guys. But is it because he brings like comic relief to the table, so it's worth it, or is there something, or is he more of a filmer?
He drives.
He drives. No, it's just my buddy. I don't know. He's just like,
We love Whitmer.
That's my.
Whit's one of the best of all time. I can't get enough. I totally get it. But I thought that was funny because I see him out there with you guys doing his little tricks.
Chris, you're very jealous sounding.
Yeah, he listens to all my stories.
Thank you, Kevin. We'll talk to you soon, bro.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later.
Later. See you in Glendale.
Hell yeah, bro.